Hey, what's up?
How are you?
Good, how are you today?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. How was training?
Good, just getting back after these last couple weeks. I've been quarantined for a couple weeks, so
Yeah.
finally out to training.
How was quarantine?
It's rough.
Yeah,
Being trapped in a room for 14 days, and then I was going to the beach more than anything, just trying to stay by myself.
yeah, yeah. So, what sort of things have you been doing in training? Because I think you work with Dean Thomas and Jose Torres, is it?
Those are my two. Well, Dean's my head coach, and
Yeah,
Shorty's my main training partner. But we do really everything. Every single day, we're just drilling, drilling, drilling. And I feel like that's what a lot of professional mixed martial artists lack in their training. They're always trying to spar, go hard, and you really just need to focus on the techniques and the basics.
yeah, yeah, definitely. A lot of people do go too hard and end up going into their fights with so many injuries and whatnot. So, it's definitely good to have a easy time and drill things and get it stuck into your brain.
Yeah, we're all about fighting smarter, not harder.
Yeah, definitely. So how's it been with training with coronavirus at the minute? Because obviously it's not calmed down too much in America.
I guess with the like with Dean and Shorty, we kind of have a unique situation where we can kind of stay to ourselves a little bit and
Yeah,
try to like keep a little bit of a quarantine situation no matter what. We don't have a huge gym. We're not working with a lot of people. But like I said, through these last 2 weeks, Dean actually tested positive on his way to Fight
yeah,
Island. So then, since then, I've been quarantined, and it's just these last 2 weeks that have been really rough. Other than that, though, we've been training like normal.
yeah, yeah. That must have been tough. So in your last fight, you actually broke a record for the most submissions in the women's MMA, in the women's UFC, sorry, with four submissions. How does it feel to be making history at such a young age of 25?
This is just the beginning. Like, I love being able to set the record for women, but like, I know Charles Oliveira, he's at 14, so I got
Yeah,
10 more at least. I got to catch up to him. So I'm trying to just set records in general. This, like you said, I'm only 25. It's just the beginning.
yeah. So I watched your fight back with Casey last night, and it looked like you was having so much fun in there. You was coming out after every round smiling. You just looked so happy in there.
Uh,
You seem
it's
like
my
you
favorite.
enjoy it so much.
Yeah, it's my favorite place to be. I love it more than anything else. The fact that, like, especially the Apex is like a unique situation because there's no crowd. It's a small cage, and it's like,
Yeah,
I don't. It's definitely different in there. But no matter what, I just love to be in the cage. I love to perform. I love to go out there and do what I love best in front of the world.
yeah, yeah. I remember she even like had you in an armbar. She grabbed the inside your glove, and even then you told the referee, and even then you started smiling.
Yeah. What happened there was that, like you said, she grabbed the inside of my glove, and I told the ref, and then he looked and he was like, "No, she's good." And I was like, "She's got all of her fingers in my glove." So that's why I started laughing, is because he said that no, she was good. I'm like, I could feel every single one of her fingers in the top of my glove.
Was it ever close, that armbar? Or
Honestly, right after I talked to the ref, she readjusted a little bit and pulled me in with the glove. So it's like
okay,
she kept on trying to use it, but there's no point where it hurt. There's no point where I felt like I was in danger. She was going for it all fight, and obviously, I think she has 2 finishes on her record with that armbar before. So I
yeah.
knew that she was going to be going for that. So we were ready for it.
And with the fight, you finished the fight quite late on. Did you was you thinking that you were just going to settle for the decision, or was you always trying to get the finish?
I'm always looking for the finish. I'm trying to get girls out of there, and even
Yeah,
if it's 30 seconds less. Like I've had 14 minutes and 30 seconds still, but it's still worth it. Like you said, I'm setting records. I'm just trying to get there and finish and try to get these girls out of there.
yeah. So is there anyone in mind that you want to fight next?
Uh, I've had a couple names in mind. There's a lot of girls getting matched up. I want a ranked opponent, and there's a lot of girls getting matched up right now. And I actually got denied this week by a ranked opponent. So girls saying no too. So I'm just waiting for someone to step up.
Who was it that denied you?
Antonina Shevchenko.
Okay. What was she? Where is she ranked?
She's ranked 12, I believe, 13, 12, one of
Okay.
those. But I believe, like, I'm not ranked yet, so I'm not looking for like a top 10 opponent necessarily.
Yeah.
But all the 10 to 15, they're all booked at the moment, except for Antonina. So, yeah, I'm not sure what's next for me, but I'm ready, and I'm working every day to stay ready.
Yeah, that's good. Just waiting for the call.
Yes, exactly.
So, what was it that actually got you started in MMA?
I have no idea. I have absolutely no clue what ended up driving me to the gym in the first place. Like, it literally, I don't know. I just started at a cardio kickboxing class. Like, it was just like a women's fitness class, and I ended up falling into it more and more, just getting deeper. And it was at Dean Thomas's gym that I started. So
Oh,
it was like I
really?
just happened to pick the right place to start. And he took me under his wing a lot. And then once I saw what I was capable of, I knew it was for me.
Yeah. So I was looking through a bit of your history yesterday, and I noticed that you've got quite a good relationship with Hannah Goldie. Then, as I
Yeah.
was also looking through your past fights, I noticed your first pro career fight was against her. So can you explain a bit of that relationship and how you got to know her?
Well, we actually trained together before we fought. We trained together
Okay.
once before we fought, and then we fought. We hadn't seen each other for a couple of years. Just life took us different directions, and then me and Dean started working with her again. So we've had another. Like, she's been coming down and staying with us for a couple days, then going back to Orlando. So we've had a good relationship there. We're both. She's a really good striker. I'm a really good ground girl. So we work well for each other.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I noticed that she was on Dana White's Contender Series and got into the UFC as well. So, is there any chance of you two meeting each other again?
Well, she's a 15er. I'm a 25er. So hopefully we
Okay,
keep
yeah,
keep our different weight classes, and we'll both have belts in them one day.
yeah, that would be good. So, what is it like training at American Top Team with like the likes of Dustin Poirier, Amanda Nunes training there? What is it like when you see them training? Or
Well, I'm not with American Top Team anymore,
oh, you're
but
not?
no, I'm not.
Okay,
I'm strictly for about 6 months now. We're just Dean left AZT, I believe, in March, and then soon after I left.
okay. Sorry, where did you say it was again? Where did you go? It broke the connection. When?
Um, it's Dean's little setup we got right now. Dean, he rented a house in Port St.
Okay.
Lucie, Florida, and it has 4 bedrooms. So he just brings fighters out. We have the garage all matted out, and that's my training situation at the moment. But it's dope.
Yeah, I bet it's good because you've got a proper one-on-one sort of time.
Exactly. I felt like when Dean was at ATT, he was so spread thin that I never got any attention from him, especially if I was out of camp. Like, when I was in camp, he would pay attention to me because we would be getting ready for the fight. But then when I was out of camp and I should be improving, I was
Yeah,
just doing hard sparring and just working myself and killing myself. And now I really see myself growing year round because I have one-on-one with one of the best coaches in the game every single day.
yeah. So obviously you love jiu-jitsu. What was it that brought you to jiu-jitsu in the first place, and when did you start training it?
Probably about a year and a half after I started kickboxing. So it was probably about like 17, almost 18 years old. And it was actually a boyfriend I had at the time, like, who trained at the gym, and he finally, like, he bought me a gi for Christmas, and I was like, well, I guess I got to use this. Like, I didn't want to train gi at all. It was never like a thing I wanted to do. And then once
Yeah,
he bought me the gi, I was just like, all right, let's do it. And then once I started, I guess I was just good at it. Me and jiu-jitsu just clicked, and I really fell in love with it.
yeah. So I've got a few questions from people from Instagram now. There's a fighter that was asking you about what your training schedule looks like.
Usually I do about 2.5 hours in the morning, 2.5 hours at night, and it's just Dean will come up with how our sessions go, whether it's drilling or whether it's striking or jiu-jitsu or wrestling or whatever we're doing, and then I'll do like drilling for an hour and a half. Then we do I'll stretch and make sure that take care of my body for the next hour.
Yeah,
That's a really important thing that I feel like especially a lot of young fighters neglect. And I remember when I was 18, people would be like, oh, you wish you need to start taking care of your body now. And I was like, no, never. And now I'm feeling it.
do you do anything else for like recovery, like any yoga or anything like that?
Yeah, I do yoga, and then also cryo at iCryo Port St. Lucie. It's a sponsor. So shout them out. And yeah, I do cryo. I do it's PEMF, which is the electric shock
Yeah.
therapy kind of, and I have this the red light therapy as well to help regenerate your cells faster for faster healing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So obviously you've had to have a coronavirus test when you fought. How was that? Did you choose to do? I can't remember if you had the choice back then to do the nose or the throat one.
Back then it was just the throat one
Okay.
that we had to do, so that one wasn't that bad. But then this last week, when Dean tested positive for coronavirus, I went and got tested, and that one was the nose one, and that was absolutely terrible.
Oh.
The throat one wasn't bad at all, but the nose one, it hurt.
Yeah, I can't imagine doing it. It sounds horrible.
I don't know, and like I thought he was only doing it in one nostril, but he did both. So I was like calming down for a second, then he went right back in. I was like, oh god.
So I got a few more questions, but we're doing a bit more quick fire, if that's all right.
Yeah, of course.
So who's your favorite female and male fighters to watch?
Amanda Nunes for female, she's greatest of all time, and male, I don't, maybe John Jones.
Yeah, I like John Jones. I like watching John Jones.
I mean, like he has a lot of bad publicity out of the cage, but he's one of the greatest of all time inside the cage.
Yeah, definitely. Someone said, when are you going to bring the belt back home to 772?
I can see me making a title run within these next couple of years. I feel like I'm not quite there yet, but probably 4 or 5 more fights, and we're going to be at that point.
Yeah, it normally only takes a good four fight win streak, and then you're there.
Yeah, like I said, just waiting for the next matchup, and hopefully, I look at it fight by fight, so I'm just waiting for the next girl they put in front of me, and then I'll be ready for Valentina whenever they put her in front of me.
Okay. I got one here that says, how much do you love Mary Jane?
It's definitely a huge part of my training regimen. Every day, pre and post, you know.
How is that doing it pre?
I feel like it helps you flow a little bit more, especially with jiu-jitsu. It's not like you're trying to force things, you know. You're letting just relax, and you're able to think more, which is going to make you better at jiu-jitsu. Yeah,
I've done it rolled with someone while I've been high before, and it's very good for your mind. It opens up a lot more things you don't normally see.
Oh yeah, you definitely get more creative.
Yeah. So someone said, do you plan on going back to live in Canada?
At the time, no. I was born in Canada, but I've mostly been raised in Port St. Lucie, Florida, and it's just very cold up there. That's the only problem. I'm in Florida here now, where I've been here for almost 20 years, and it's never under 40 degrees.
Yeah.
So I like that. I'm not ready for snow, I don't think.
So what age did you start your career?
I started training when I was 16, and then in Florida you weren't allowed to start fighting until you're 18. So I had my first amateur fight at 18, and I believe I turned pro just before my 21st birthday.
Okay. What was the first MMA fight you watched?
I actually watched my first UFC fight after I had my first MMA fight. So, I didn't know anything about the UFC, coming into this whenever I started the sport. So, I had it was either my first or second amateur fight, and then I watched, it was Gilbert Melendez and Diego Sanchez, which is a great first fight to watch, but they just killed each other for 3 rounds.
What's your favorite location you fought in?
Probably Prague. It was actually gorgeous out there.
Yeah, I've heard it's very nice out there.
And also, one more, Edmonton, because having a Canadian crowd behind me was the most amazing victory I've ever had. There's no better vibes.
Yeah. Hopefully, in the next year, you'll be able to fight there with things getting better.
My last one was supposed to be Saskatoon before all this coronavirus, and I was hoping for that.
Yeah. So when can people see you in action next?
As of right now, I don't have a fight date, but August 30th, I'll be competing at Submission Underground on UFC Fight Pass. You can watch me compete there. Hopefully, I'll have something, a UFC contract around then.
Yeah, hopefully. Well, that's it from me.
Oh, thank you so much. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Yeah, thank you for coming on.
No problem at all.
Have a good day. See ya.
You too.